Have you ever felt like something huge is being hidden from you? Something so absurd that if it came to light, it would change your entire view of Earth, the sky, and even who you are. Well, on a very specific day, a date you won't find in any history book, NASA captured a signal. It wasn't interference, it wasn't a glitch, and it certainly wasn't a prank. It was contact, real contact with aliens. But instead of revealing it, they erased everything, silenced it, as if it never happened. And here's the scariest part. You probably watched it live, with your own eyes, but you didn't realize what you were seeing, because they made it look normal, but it wasn't. It was something that shouldn't have been there, but it was. And that's what triggered a silent alarm among the few who understood what was at stake. Now, in this video, you'll see what no one wants you to see. Because this story isn't about a spaceship. It's about the fear they have of the truth. Get ready. What you're about to hear might make you rethink everything you believe, and you might never look at the sky the same way again. Have you ever wondered what really happens when a UFO is picked up by military radar? Most people have no idea that there are secret protocols, never publicly discussed, created specifically to deal with unidentified objects in the sky. We're not talking about a lost weather balloon or a stray drone. We're talking about something that disobeys known laws of physics, and yet it vanishes from records like it was never there. It's like an invisible eraser rewrites reality itself. One of the most intriguing cases was picked up by a civilian satellite over the Indian Ocean. It recorded a metallic object moving in a circular motion, 3 times faster than any known jet. Then, the data was classified. The scientist who discovered it disappeared digitally, and his name was removed from the mission logs. Sounds like a sci-fi movie, right? Except this time, life imitated the script, and someone didn't want to be found out. Did you know there are pilots who swear they've seen aliens with their own eyes, only to be forced into silence? Some say these beings communicated without moving their mouths, using something like telepathy. Strangest of all, these accounts always come with confiscated footage, missing audio, and the classic phrase, "This never happened." But if it never happened, why go to such lengths to hide it? In 1998, a group of amateur astronomers captured something strange during a live stream from the ISS. It was a pulsating light, moving erratically, floating far beyond Earth's orbit, too far to be space debris and way too fast for a regular satellite. They tried reporting it to official channels. The result? The original footage vanished, and their online profiles were mysteriously shut down. And the question still hanging in the air, why be so afraid of a simple anomaly? That event sparked a wave of theories, and even changed the behavior of independent researchers. One even created his own encrypted protocol to store backups of potential UFO sightings. His reasoning? Because if you don't protect the truth, it disappears. And that's exactly what's happening, especially with anything involving aliens or signs of non-human life. The reports keep surfacing like leaks in a system ready to burst. And here's the real horror. The problem isn't the existence of UFOs. It's the systematic effort to suppress the knowledge. Think about it. What would happen to religion, science, and global power structures if a real alien encounter were confirmed tomorrow? Everything would have to be rethought. Maybe that's why the truth is hidden, but it's not the only reason. Now picture this, a closed-door meeting inside a government facility. Intelligence officers, NASA scientists, and Pentagon reps sit around a table. At the center, a flash drive. Inside, a signal received by one of our Martian probes. It wasn't noise. It wasn't static. It was rhythmic electromagnetic pulses that, when decoded, resembled a form of language. And it wasn't human. One witness reportedly whispered, "They're trying to talk." NASA labeled it cosmic interference, a classic move to distract the public. But a leak surfaced. A trainee who glimpsed part of the meeting anonymously posted snippets of the audio on the dark web. Forums buzzed. Some said the pattern sounded like a call or a warning. Others believed it was a response to something we sent decades ago, perhaps from Voyager. Did we provoke something unknowingly? This is where things get deeply unsettling. If aliens are reaching out, who's managing the story? Because the public gets a filtered version, sterilized and defanged. Footage is edited, witnesses are discredited, evidence disappears, labeled as conspiracy theory. But what if one of those theories has already become reality, and no one even noticed? One of the most buried or erased incidents involved an unmanned NASA mission to map the moon. During the public livestream, thousands claimed to see a shadow moving across the Tycho crater. Not a glitch, not a visual error. It was large, with a defined shape, casting real-time shadows. How did NASA respond? Technical difficulties. The stream cut. They never mentioned it again. A week later, mission data vanished from NASA's public archives. A retired engineer claimed the footage revealed something the public couldn't handle. He spoke of unnatural structures, symmetrical formations, geometric shapes, and blinking lights. According to him, it looked like someone or something was up there, watching, quietly, in the dark. Even more disturbing, some of these structures appeared ancient, fossilized into the lunar surface. Which begs the question, what if UFOs aren't visitors, but residents of our solar system? Could the moon be a base? An observatory? A gateway? The lack of answers only deepens the mystery. And what happened in the next mission raised even more eyebrows. In the follow-up mission, named Artemis Beta, astronauts were explicitly instructed not to approach Tycho crater. That's right, an area once marked for scientific exploration was suddenly off-limits. During the livestream, telemetry cut multiple times, always at the same coordinates. Upon return, one visibly shaken astronaut admitted seeing something I can't explain. He never spoke publicly again. Rumors circulated internally: equipment malfunctions, electromagnetic interference, and sounds. Metallic sounds almost like voices, but in a frequency only the instruments could detect. Similar incidents were reported in earlier missions, like Apollo 10, where astronauts heard music on the dark side of the moon. Instead of investigating, they chose to ignore or cover it up. But why hide such bizarre data? Notice the pattern. Every time something strange emerges, the official response is silence, deletion, redirection, and people are starting to accept this manipulation as normal. But what if UFOs are not just passing by? What if aliens are closer than we think? What's coming next from Mars could make all of this look like a teaser. When the Perseverance rover landed on Mars, its mission was simple: search for signs of past life. But what it found made even the most skeptical scientists pause. In Jezero crater, it recorded geometric shapes too symmetrical to be carved by wind or erosion, straight lines, perfect circles, patterns that simply don't occur naturally. Initially, the images were released, but then the high-resolution versions were replaced by blurry ones. NASA, the agency with the best cameras in the solar system, suddenly had technical issues. A former employee claimed the raw images showed a metallic monolith, not native to Mars, embedded in the surface. The material, unknown on Earth. Even more chilling, sensors detected heat variations nearby, as if something alive or active was buried underneath. And a microphone picked up a sharp sound, unexplainable by Martian geology. You know that feeling of being watched? That's exactly what Perseverance's algorithms flagged during nighttime scans. NASA called it a glitch. Was it? Or was it contact? Before Perseverance, Curiosity had already spotted oddities. In 2015, a series of images appeared to show a humanoid silhouette standing atop a Martian hill. It was small, maybe child-sized, but visible. Internet users nicknamed it the Guardian of Mars. NASA dismissed it as pareidolia, seeing familiar shapes in randomness. But was it really just that? Weeks later, another photo caused a stir. A door-like structure carved into a cliff. It was symmetrical, clean, and unnaturally straight. Official explanation? Light and shadow. But an independent geologist noted the erosion patterns indicated age, possibly centuries, and tracks near the entrance, as if something was using it, regularly. That's when a bold theory emerged. What if the UFOs we see on Earth aren't from far away, but from close by? What if Mars, long painted as dead, is actually a covert observation post? A cosmic surveillance point? Sounds insane, until you learn what's been discovered on one of Mars's moons, Phobos. Phobos, Mars's smallest moon, has baffled scientists for decades. It's abnormally light and orbits Mars at an unnatural speed. But few people talk about what the Soviet Phobos 2 probe recorded in 1989, seconds before going silent. It caught a blurry image of a giant cylindrical object approaching the moon. Moments later, contact was lost. The object was never officially acknowledged, but Soviet engineers described it as artificial. More unsettling, heat signatures beneath Phobos' surface hinted at something active. A Ukrainian physicist suggested it might be hollow, or worse, a disguised technological artifact. Sci-fi? Maybe, but the same theory has been whispered about our moon. If Phobos is a camouflaged base, then for what purpose? Some say it's an observation station, monitoring Earth silently, a cosmic eye that never blinks. Supporting this are mysterious radio waves detected from within Phobos, picked up by deep space antennas. But of course, mainstream science refused to even acknowledge them. Why? Because what's approaching now might be too massive to cover up. In 2022, China reported a possibly artificial signal from deep space using the world's largest telescope, FAST. Scientists briefly thought it could be our first confirmed sign of intelligent life. The story spread fast, then vanished. Articles were deleted, raw data classified. Official explanation? Earth-based interference. But do you believe that? Leaks revealed the signal followed a binary pattern, like an encoded message, and it came from the same region where the famous WOW signal was detected decades ago. Coincidence? Doubtful. More suspicious was how quickly the narrative shifted, like someone flipping a switch from discovery to denial. Now here's the bigger question. Why do rival nations like the US and China stay silent when it comes to aliens? Could there be a secret agreement? Or are they just terrified of what they're facing? After the signal, antenna arrays worldwide quietly shifted focus to one point in space. No explanation, but what followed next might reveal everything. Shortly after the signal, rumors began to circulate that NASA had repositioned probes and satellites toward a specific region in space where something colossal was allegedly approaching. Not an asteroid, not a comet, but something moving in a straight, steady, and unnatural path. Some believe it's a megastructure, a gigantic object with no spin, no decay, and no heat signature. A physicist at MIT allegedly described it as the strangest thing we've ever seen. That recording, removed from official archives within hours. Coincidence or panic? Now think, what if this object isn't just approaching? What if it's responding? Decades ago, we sent messages into space. Maybe someone or something finally heard. NASA's internal systems show increased activity. Telescopes are shifting, voices are lowering, and whatever this is, could make every alien theory look like child's play. They hid it. They manipulated it. They deleted it. But now you know. The real question is, what will you do with this information? Pretend it doesn't matter? Or start paying closer attention to the world around you? Because the truth, no matter how well hidden, always finds a way to resurface. What if the UFOs are real? What if aliens are already among us? Why are they so desperate to suppress it? If you had access to a classified alien file right now, would you speak out or stay silent? Your answer says more about you than you think. Now tell me, do you still believe this is all just coincidence? Drop your opinion in the comments. What do you think they're hiding from us? And of course, if this video opened your eyes, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share it with someone who needs to know the truth. Because what's coming next, no one will be able to ignore.